we all stand for the invocation, and we might Pastor Earl Wallace to give the invocation today.
Lord, we come before you in the name of Jesus, and we thank you for this town board meeting. We thank you that this town board loves law enforcement and understands the foundation of our wonderful country, Father, that it's founded on the Ten Commandments, and we have rights that are based in those commandments, not to be murdered, lied to, stolen, etc. Pray you would bless this meeting in Jesus' name, that you'd just anoint these people to take care of this town, Father. We ask these things in Jesus' name, and all God's people say, Amen.
Thank you. And should we all remain standing for the pledge? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. August 10th, 12/21, regular town board meeting. Cindy, could you please read the roll?
Councilman Vivaldi.
Here.
Councilman Jacaruso.
Here.
Councilman Gray.
Present.
Councilwoman Mora.
She's absent tonight.
Supervisor Esposito.
Present. Also, we have our attorney, Gerard Parisi, is present. Okay, before we get going, I would like to ask our guests over here tonight. We got Pastor Earl Wallace and Tommy from Guilderland, and I keep forgetting your name.
Alan Marshman.
Thank you. They are going to be having a Support the Police rally this Saturday, starting about 8:30, 9 a.m. in the morning. They're going to start at our town hall. It's going to be out in the front between the Sheriff's Department and the State Police Building. We did this last year. We had an excellent turnout. I certainly hope we have another excellent turnout. We traveled from Princetown to Scotia, to the city of Schenectady, to Colony, and I didn't go to Latham, but they went to Latham too. And it was an excellent turnout. We had a very good response, and I certainly hope that we get a good turnout again to support our police. Our first responders do an excellent job, whether it's the fire department, it's our EMTs, our paramedics, and all of our police departments. And we certainly, the town of Princetown certainly appreciates everything they do to protect us and to serve our community. And Earl, I'd like you to come up and say a few words, and Tommy, and if anyone else would like to come up.
While I'm talking, Alan's going to give each of you a little booklet called The Biblical Basis of Our Bill of Rights. And we were quite alarmed in 2019 when we saw Black Lives Matter and other organizations denigrating our police and law enforcement. And we actually went out in the street and began to meet with them, which has led to the writing of this booklet. But what we tried to reinforce with them, and especially our law enforcement officers, we were very alarmed to see the people in Schenectady and in Gloversville, Johnstown, actually kneeling down with these people. Our American Revolution had a motto: we kneel to no one but Jesus Christ. And in the Declaration of Independence, it says that we have unalienable rights that come from our Creator. Well, those rights are enumerated in the Ten Commandments. We have a Ten Commandment number 6 right to not be murdered. We have a Ten Commandment number 7 right not to be sexually molested. We have a Ten Commandment number 8 right not to be lied to, stolen from. We have a Ten Commandment number 9 right not to be lied to or about or slandered. And we have a Ten Commandment number 10 right to not have evil people seize government power and deny us free autonomous use of our 4 Ps. Our persons, our people, family members, etc., our employees, our position and our possessions. We also have a Ten Commandment number 5 right to our family sanctity, providing we don't use that freedom to violate Ten Commandments 6 through 10 against our families. We also have a Ten Commandments number 1 through 4 right to worship God publicly the way He says He wants to be worshipped in the Bible, and that's why America's historical buildings and monuments have Bible verses and symbols carved into them by architectural design, not the result of college pranksters sneaking around at night trying to pretend we were a Christian nation. So when we saw our local law enforcement actually kneeling down with these people, we began to contact law enforcement and remind them, reinforce these principles with them. I went to a meeting and Lou Esposito was there, and he's the first town supervisor in New York State to actually stand up and say, no, our community's not going to go this way. So you guys are blessed. For all of us to have a 10 Commandments value system, from the board to the police department to the community. I've done some police training events for entire police departments, and I tell them, if I were you guys, I would just get my PBA to put up a 10 Commandments billboard at either side of our town and says, we honor these rules. If you break them and you violate them against our community, you're going to go to jail. And the judge has to tell people, you know, you're guilty of stealing, but they want to take the 10 Commandments away from us, so you can't tell them in advance that it's wrong to steal. That does not make sense to me. So we appreciate our law enforcement signs up on the wall. We appreciate that this community seems to be a unified community, and that people here have a 10 Commandments value system, because without it, our society will be in chaos. So Saturday, we're going to start here at 9 o'clock. And we're going to hold up we've made a bunch of new signs, and we're going to pick those up in a day or two. And we're going to, so if you come, you don't have to bring your own sign. We'll give you a sign to carry if you want. Some people like to take them home and put them on their lawns. You could do that if you want. But as we move to the next community, we like to collect the signs so we have enough for the people who will show up there. So I want to thank you, Lou, and the rest of the town board members and the attorney for having me here. All you people have been so gracious to us to be able to honor these concepts with us, so I really appreciate that. Thank you for your time.
And I might add that after we had this Support the Police rally last year, we also had one at the state capitol, where we all loaded up on buses. We all went down to the state capitol, and Earl was instrumental, and he gave an excellent speech at the state capitol that day. It lasted for about, I don't know, half a day, really. And
Sheriff Mack came in from Arizona.
Yes.
Of the Constitutional Law Enforcement Organization. So.
And we had a lot of active and retired police that were there. They were on the bus with us. We all left from our town and from Rotterdam and the surrounding communities from Wade Tours. They donated a couple of buses for us, I guess, and we went down to the state capitol, and it was quite an experiment too, and it was an excellent turnout, I might add. And Tommy was there, Tommy from Gilderland. That's what I call him. He always calls in on the Paul Vandenberg show along with Jim. But thank you again, Earl.
Thank you.
We appreciate everything you're doing for the law enforcement, and we'll certainly be here Saturday to kick it off too. And I hope this gets out onto the YouTube and onto the government channel before Saturday. We're hoping that maybe we can get a stronger turnout. So thank you again for all you do for the police and the first responders. And like I say, if it wasn't for our first responders, I don't know what we would do, whether it's police, fire, the EMTs, and paramedics that provide all of the services for our town. We certainly do appreciate it.
We look forward to seeing you Saturday.
I'd just like to say I appreciate everything you've done, but it's awful funny when a car gets stolen from Ryville Lake, houses are breaking in. They were across the street from my house, stole four-wheelers, dirt bikes, a truck, a car, a Rooter Drive, vandalized his garage, okay? They stole the car on Friday. 2 17-year-old kids got arrested down in Rotterdam, or in Bellevue. The same 2 kids got arrested for stealing the pickup truck across the street from my house. They got out that night. Now, what's going on with this law that you can do what you want to do, and the next day, the same 2 kids got arrested?
Well, we're having a change of governorship, and I'm praying that our political class throughout New York State is replaced by those that have a 10 Commandments value system and believes that thou shalt not steal is really wrong.
I just don't understand, how this is. You got arrested, you're out. the next night. They got arrested the next day.
You know, well, you have to get the who right to get the do right, because the who's have to do. If you have immoral who's in charge of our government, they're going to make immoral policies. And we're not going to get protection. So we really do need to get people in government who do what the Puritans said. The only people who should be administering the American government are people that are Bible-believing, born again, and are living under the active discipleship conviction of the Holy Spirit to live by the Ten Commandments, treat other people according to the Ten Commandments, and administer all that they do according to the Ten Commandments. It's in that document. And that's our challenge. Who would make a law that would let criminals out of jail?
Good luck.
Not a moral person. So our challenge is that both the Democratic and Republican parties throughout New York State have nominated people for office who don't have this Ten Commandments value system. Of course, we've only been able to articulate this the last 4 or 5 years. So we're hoping that more and more Democratic and Republican committees understand these concepts and will do a litmus test with people. That our founding fathers literally had a religious litmus test. And it was broken in 1951 in a case called Torcasano versus Watkins in the state of Maryland. Because we had immoral people. We had people who did not have a Ten Commandments value system on our Supreme Court. And so they began to undermine this Ten Commandments foundation of our society. But we now can articulate it, and we're working very hard to get it back. So I hope to see you all Saturday.
Thank you, Earl.
Thank you.
Thank you. Tommy, would you like to say a few things?
Yeah. I'd like to share with everybody here something that should be widely known. In the past 40 years since cocaine and drugs like that became a problem, death rate in black communities been about 7,000 young men in gang wars. Past 40 years, we've lost over 250,000 young men. I mean, a lot of people have noticed, if you listen to the right surveys, 60, 70, 80% of people, regardless of race in high crime areas, want more law enforcement where they are. Everybody they don't care about is in danger here. But in a lot of communities where gangs and people have their way calling out racism and stuff like that against the police, you have a culture where snitches get stitches. And worldwide, the best way to use that is to go after your family who'll stand up for you and attack them because of what you're doing. Throughout history, people have been willing to take a butt whipping themselves for their loved ones. But having your loved ones taken one for you, it's a really effective way of controlling people. If the media would do its job, dispassionately and not lie about the will of all these people for whom the loved one's loss is not a TV show. I mean, it's something you live with forever. Your child loses your grandchild. You get to watch them suffer the rest of your life watching them. So there are a lot of people for whom it means a lot that there are still people who will stand up when everybody else is going along to get along. With the crap about blaming the police, discouraging people who go out and risk their lives for total strangers, who oftentimes won't show if they appreciate it or not. And the corrections officers who take care of the knuckleheads who get caught and shouldn't be loose on the street acting the way they like to act and victimizing innocent people. We have these events. You get people who are on the brink of saying, no, this has been going on too long. And they go out and they see for themselves, like the law enforcement, when people are driving by, blowing their horns in support, that they are not alone. And given a chance, there are a whole lot of people that the media won't tell about who want people to stand up and say what is wrong is wrong. And so you get people who are enthusiastic as the people who first time did this last year. And that's how it grows. A week or so ago, a group called Pastors on Patrol contacted Earl and invited us to attend the event he talked about at Bleecker Stadium, where they're trying to reach people of the religious community and get them to do more. You get people to come to events like this, like to have one a month from now. Maybe even a third one, while the weather's still good, and get people encouraged to come and stand up and be counted. Because those who have to be worried, those who don't want their children to have to be worried about this intimidation, very much like the Ku Klux Klan was famous for, that the new face of the civil rights movement has been suckered into adopting. The new face of the civil rights movement is groups like Black Lives Matter, who really don't know any better because popular culture has made heroes of gangsters for all their lives, as far back as they can remember. We have one hell of an uphill battle to fight. But if we can respect the troops who go and serve hitches in wars for us, we've got to respect the police officers, the corrections officers, those who deal with the people most of us would prefer not to have to deal with, and keep them from doing the stuff we really don't want them doing to us and our loved ones. And in doing that, we become the voice for the 60–70% of the community that needs more enforcement than most. And maybe we get the message past the media. We sold everybody out for so long. And have the blood of about 250,000 young black men. We don't know about all the Hispanic. And if we put all together people who've been killed in these stupid gang wars and enslaved by addictive drugs, because the police are doing the best they can, but the people in the communities are too intimidated to help them catch the drug dealers in the community. I can go on and on about this, and there are a whole lot of other people who can also. But unless you're here listening to a station like 1300, you're not going to hear it. And until we get enough people willing to stand up and say, this has not made any sense for a long time, and for all the police officers who've retired early, for all the people who've been discouraged from joining the police, for those who would put their lives on the line for strangers who probably don't even like them, because it's the right thing to do. We've got years of undoing the damage done. The sooner we start, the less casualties taken. That's it.
Why
It's an honor to be here
Why
in front
did
of
they
you.
want to defund the police department?
People who have a stake from fear to profit in the criminal activities from drug trafficking on, they're pandering to people who have relatives who are in this and don't want them arrested. I don't know, when you stop and think about it, it doesn't make a lot of sense. But it does sell
I
newspapers.
agree with you 100%.
It sells newspapers, it gets people in front of TV sets watching news. Can't say. I mean, it's hard to understand what makes intelligent people go along with this. But it slowly spreads out into the suburbs too. And when people get comfortable acting the fool in public places like shopping malls and stuff like that, what do you do then for everybody else who's just got nothing to do with this except they're in the wrong place, wrong time, but it should be a safe place. This is reality. Yeah. But everyday people. See them drive by it, you'll see them driving by in support. And you'll see the people who show up for the first time at this event, having something they walk away from, being impressed by the reality. And you got people who show up at the Capitol all winter, first time they do it, to be heard making a stand, getting something video that can be shared around the country. It inspires people. God made us like that. It's a matter of just the opportunity and getting together with like-minded people and doing it. That's how revolutions were started. That's how the Revolutionary War in this country came about. People started doing the right thing in small steps.
Well, Tommy, you know that our town board certainly supports everything you're doing, and Earl, and that we support all of our first responders, whether it's police, fire, and every one of our first responders. We're very appreciative of all of the things that they do for our community.
Yeah. A lot of people were too intimidated to say so. I feel the same way. That's why they want more. Hey, you guys proved yourself last year. That's why we're kicking this off again here this year.
We'll be here.
Thank you.
Would you like to say anything?
I'll say it real quick. Again, my name is Alan Marshner, and I do really appreciate this town board hearing us. I really do. Because we are part of the people, and I'm very much a constitutionalist, so I do believe we have a unique society based upon our Constitution. So we have individual rights, we have the community rights, which you guys represent, and then it gets a little states' rights. And I appreciate that. Keep it away from the federal government so much, the smaller government. That's to answer your question, why did we fund the police? My feelings are so we can have the United Nations come in as police force. So, and I hate to see that because that eliminates the individual rights and the community rights. And we live in certain communities for certain reasons, to be with like people. And I appreciate your time and listening to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
See you Saturday.
See you Saturday.
Yep. God bless.
Okay, before we move on, I do have an announcement I'd like to make. I have some very good news for the town of Princetown. The Schenectady County Legislature tonight is going to be voting on providing the town of Princetown Water Department with a grant for $200,000 for helping us with our water department. They realize all of the problems we've had over the past year and a half, 2 years, trying to get our water system up to date. We certainly do appreciate everything Clark Collins has done and the rest of the water department that have done for our town to help get everything up and running. And I'm very, very happy that the Schenectady County Legislature is going to be providing us with a grant for $200,000 to upgrade our system and help us out with it. It may not be enough to help us out in the long run, but it's certainly in the short run and is going to be a big help, helping repair the water tanks that have to be done. And eventually, as I said, we're going to have to replace all of our water lines, starting with Route 7. We're going to be talking with the Congressman's office. He's been sending me emails on how to apply for different grants to upgrade our system, and we're going to be doing a study on that. And certainly, I would like anybody here and people in the community to send a note, an email to the Schenectady County Legislature, thanking them for their generosity in providing us with the $200,000 to help us out with the water system. You can send it to the county chairman, Tony Jasinski, and to the Schenectady County Legislature to thank him for this. I certainly do appreciate it. Our town board appreciates it, and I think that this is a very, very nice thing at the county legislature. We've been working on this for months now, since our water system has has come into such a, I don't know if you call it a dilapidated state, but it certainly was at the point where a couple of years ago, it was almost in a total collapse, I might say. So if anybody would like to call the county legislature, send them an email. It would certainly be appreciated to let them know that we do appreciate everything that the county has done with us to help us out. This is on top of the $50,000 that they already gave us last year. So I don't know, does anybody have any comments, Jim?
Well, 6 months ago, we were so broke that the water department was actually in arrears. We had bills we could not pay. We had vendors we could not pay. We literally did not know what we were going to do. We had to have an executive meeting to pull our hair out to try to figure this out. It really, I mean, the county has always helped us. They come up to bat when we're in desperate conditions. We don't have a town tax, which makes it very difficult for us to respond to a kind of a problem that we had with the water department. And that wouldn't help us anyway, because the water department is a separate entity. So town money cannot be used in the water department. So we're really thankful. We're paying off all our vendors. We're getting squared away, but I'm telling you, 6 months ago, we were all in absolute desperate conditions. Lou and I weren't sleeping at night. It was that bad. So I personally would like to thank the county legislature as well, because they've been fantastic, great political partners for us, and they've helped us every inch of the way.
Ben, do you have anything else? Doug? Well, like I said over here, if anybody would like to contact them, call them, text them, send them an email. It would certainly be nice that from the residents that are in the water district especially, that to thank them for everything they've done to help the town out. So, having said that, as I said, they're voting on that tonight, and I'm told that it was going to be a unanimous vote. So, helping
The only thing I do have something to say is what the prices that we're charging people for their water, okay, it's got to be changed. It's got to go up. You've got to have a maintenance fee. We got to start raising it, because you're not going to get these grants all the time. And it's been gone too long when nobody, don't want to raise nothing. But you know what? When you pay 0.003 for a gallon of water, and a 16-ounce bottle of water costs you $1 and what, 12, 14, 15 cents? Doesn't make sense. Why are you buying a bottle of water when you can take it out of your tap? 0.003. Okay, for 52,000 gallons of water. That doesn't fix the lines, and there's no. You got to raise the maintenance fee for the upkeep to it. You got to get a balance of head, so you got a little coffer. If something breaks, you fix it. We've been in the bag, like you said. How long? How long have we been in the bag?
long time.
Okay. They want the privilege of having the water, they gotta pay for it. And when you pay 0.003 for a gallon of water, a gallon, and you're paying $1 something for a 16-ounce bottle, doesn't make sense. Or a coffee, go to Stewart's, McDonald's, buy a cup of coffee. What's the cost? $1. That's for a cup of coffee. People gotta understand, it's maintenance.
Okay, all right, let's move on then. And like I said, I'd appreciate it if anybody would like to contact the county and let them thank them for this. I hope this can get out so that we can get the word out to let everybody know that what the county has done for us. All right. Approves of the floor. At every scheduled town board meeting, the public shall have the right to address the town board during the course of the meeting referred to as privilege of the floor. Members of the public shall restrict their comments to items of town business. Although there is no official time constraint, speakers should be considerate of others so that all interested members of the public have an opportunity to be heard. There shall be one portion of the meeting dedicated to privilege of the floor near the beginning of each meeting. All remarks, questions shall be addressed to the board. No person shall enter into discussion with the person having the floor. Council members may address any comments during a portion of the meeting referred to as council members' comments. We'll open privilege of the floor up at 7:38. Any comments? Greer, you have anything you would like to say?
For a change, no.
Nobody? Okay, close it up at 7:39. Department committee reports. Highway, Nick.
Yeah, well, we're sort of fortunate we had a pretty good winter where the roads are all in pretty good shape. Luckily, we didn't get a lot of frost, which picks the roads up and makes them crack. So this is a big plus for us. And we haven't been getting any complaints, and most of them are for the county. They're on county roads, right, Bill? The town, they seem to be happy with everything, so we can be thankful for that. That's about it. The roads are good. Every one of them. And when we do have something small to do, the county does it right away for us. Little patch ups or something, but we haven't even had any roads to be patched so far. So I drove around, looked at them all, and I was very happy with it. That's about it. Thank you.
Any questions for Nick? Jim?
No.
Doug?
No. Thanks to your Rick.
Water. Rick is here. Wesley's not here tonight. He wrote this up, see if I can read it right over here. July 2021 gallons pumped. Looks like 1,876,000. Maximum daily use is 89.6. Is that 89,000? Yeah. 89,000. Minimum daily usage is 8.0. That's 80. Right. Daily average is 60,000. June 10th, accident on the corner of Birchwood Drive and Pangburn Road that damaged the valve boxes, possible bolts. We're waiting on insurance claim and scheduling. Tower on Ruder Drive continues to leak. Have been in contact with the manufacturer for scheduled repair. A deposit was in place for the work to be done. That's going to be done this fall. Small leak in a booster pump station on Gifford Church Road, waiting repair scheduling. This month, down to the well house, we had a #1 pump failure. We had Lane pull the pump and reinstall a new one. All was under warranty, no charge to the town. These were the new pumps that they replaced. One of them went bad in a relatively short period of time. In the chlorine room, the exhaust fan burned up. We ordered a new one and waiting for delivery. One new water service installed at 312 Norriskill Drive. Water meter installed, inspection completed. Respectfully submitted, Rick Work. Any questions for Rick? And I understand we have to do something on Gifford Church Road too.
That is the booster pump leak.
Oh, that's the booster pump leak. Okay. Any questions, Doug? Jim?
So everything is kind of on schedule. We're just waiting for the contractors, the weather to get better to fix those valve boxes because it's been so wet. As far as the tower, We're hoping near the end of the year they'll do it. We have to do it before winter, and we don't want to really do it right now in the main season either, because we're going to have to put a tank down.
When are they gonna redo that tank?
Next couple of months, they're planning
Like
on
October or September?
We're talking October, maybe beginning of September.
Yes, we already put a deposit on that. They're required, figure out how much did we get?
60,000.
No, it was 48,000, I think.
38,000?
48.
48,000. And we had to give them a deposit of 48,000. So,
So that's all set to go.
and that's just a deposit on that. So, as you can see, everything is expensive to maintain the water system. Okay. Is hereby any other questions for,
You didn't do
oh no, I didn't
everybody.
do the other sets, excuse me, I'm jumping the gun here. Code enforcement. Let me see where his report is here. Total permits, this is from Thomas Perini, building inspector. Total permits 2, permits issued 2. Permit inspection fees collected $488, building inspections 12, zoning review 0, fire inspection 0, final building inspection 0, certificate of occupancy compliance 0, bank deposit report $488, check to supervisor 0, check balance as of August 10th, 2021, $626.74, activities and zoning 0, working on planning and zoning as needed, working on permit and final inspection as needed, reviewing plans as needed, Tom's the reading building inspector. Any questions for Tom? He's in the other room if we do need him. Okay. You're up, Ben.
Had one dog that was found, old poodle, guy must have been 14 years old, his cataracts in his eyes, no teeth. Had to take that down to the shelter. There's no tag or any info on it. And once again, social media, I asked them to advertise on that, and they did. And as soon as I dropped the dog off at the shelter and got back home, I got a call from the owner, who was actually the dog sitter. So they made arrangements to get the dog back. So that's all set. There's no fee going to be, to the town because they had to pay for that. And I believe the dog was actually, the owner was in Rotterdam, so the license issue was going to be a Rotterdam problem. And then the other call was a complaint from a person that complained once before about their neighbor's dog wandering on their property. And he wasn't doing anything. I mean, he said he stole some tomatoes off the guy's plant. He was all mad about it. So I contacted the owner because we dealt with him before. And she, I called right away because I knew about this person. I called right away. And I wasn't planning on going that night because I had somebody at the house with me that night. And but I find out, I call the guy back, the complaint, and he said that a couple of cars took off right away after I called. And it turned out what happened was it was the girl that lived there, it was the daughter that used to live there. It was her dog that was always stirring up trouble. Well, they had a party, it was the parents' house. She came back up there, she had the dog. And so when she found out that I might be coming up there, she took off with her dog. Thought that I was going to take the dog from her, which was silly. But she lives over in Schenectady now, and I told her, please, if you're up there, don't let your dog wander because this guy's going to call. He gets very upset. So hopefully it won't happen again. But it's the second time. Hopefully it won't happen a third. I did tell her. I said if he grabs the dog and if I go and take it, I'm going to have to take it to the shelter because, and then you're going to wind up having to pay for impound fee and all that. So. Hopefully that will stick with her and she'll be careful next time not to let her dog wander. And that's all the drama for the dogs for the month.
Okay. Any questions for Ben? No. Okay, I don't think we've got a report from the judge this month, do we? No. And the assessor's on vacation, so I couldn't talk with him. Buildings and grounds over here, the state police called me there this afternoon, and another same compressor that went down the last 3 weeks is down again. Eastern is coming over to repair it tomorrow, again. The septic system out here, the pump went bad, which pumps up the sewage up into the raised mound system behind the solar panels, went bad. We had someone come in, it was pumped out, both tanks were pumped, and we had to have a new pump placed in, and the alarm system was not working. Somehow it got disconnected in the past years. So that was reinstalled, and we found out now that the cover of the septic tank is cracked to the point where it may collapse, from what we were told. Nick was here with his backhoe, as usual. Nick came in to help out, dug off the top of it, and helped find where the line was broke for the emergency alarm system. And I gotta thank Nick again for all the work he does for the town. He takes his time, came over here, and he's always right here to help the town out. We're gonna have to replace the cover of the septic tank. That's up to the town board if they wanna do this. They claim over here, and Nick was here when he told us, showed us pictures of it, that he climbed down in there and said that the cover is cracked to the point where it should be replaced. A new one has to be ordered, made to fit it. Nick has said he would come over here and dig it up. The fellow that installed the pump and rehooked the alarm system that tells when the pump goes bad. He's going to come back in, pull the pump so it doesn't get damaged while we replace the cover. My question to the town board is, do we want to do this?
We don't have any choice. If that caves in, or if anybody gets hurt, it's on town property. It's not in a normal walkway area, but you never know. It's near the garage.
You go in the middle of the winter.
It's gotta be done. We don't have any choice.
Fix it.
You know, what's happening now is it's low where that tank is, and all the rainwater runs to it. So after we correct it, we'll fill it in and get it higher so the water runs away. You know?
So we're gonna raise that manhole up.
Yeah, we gotta put a new manhole in it and a new cover. But we'll be very careful not to let the cover fall in it. And we'll get this, Eric, he's very good, he's working, to take the pump back out while I work at it. In case it caves in, we don't want to damage the pump. The pump's worth about $800-900, isn't it, Will?
Yeah, somewhere around here.
So this is one of the problems. This is about it.
That's the problem. So our options are to wait until it's a disaster and then lose the pump. Somebody could get hurt. It just doesn't.
Yeah, we gotta do it.
The risk-reward ratio is not there. We gotta do it.
Yeah.
Fix it.
I'll get together in about a week or so, we'll dig it out and straighten it out. With the help of Jim, Billy, Doug.
I'd like to thank Nick again. Nick comes with his own backhoe and does this work. Since we really don't have a highway department to speak of, he's our highway department with his own equipment.
Yeah.
So,
It's no problem, I'm glad to do it, you know? Help the town any way we can. We don't have that kind of money to pay things out anyway, you know? So,
I think that we should be compensating you something for the fuel you're using
Fuel,
on your
the
backhoe.
equipment, the machinery, we gotta do something.
And really.
Send us a bill for the time you put in there. It's legitimate.
you know, I'm okay, don't worry about it. It's my pleasure.
Yeah, but it's, I mean,
Anything
it's
I can do for the town.
your machine, your fuel, your time.
All right, well, I guess that's it for buildings and grounds. Any other questions?
No, I got one. What is this boom that we hear all the time?
Oh, yeah, that big loud boom.
What is that?
They're
Three
doing
times.
the electric lines. Those,
Yeah,
when
but why would
replacing.
it, why would it
There
be
was a
big?
one-
I don't know if they're dropping them or somebody said, what did you say, Sandy?
Wes said that it's when they're splicing the cables together, they have to use pressure to splice them together, and it creates that loud explosion
Wow.
sound.
I heard one today.
Shakes
Yeah,
like.
I heard it
Right,
today.
twice today.
I thought they were dynamite or something. No?
I sent my wife up on the ramparts with her gun.
On 7th, I thought that's.
They were attacking from
Canada
Canada.
rock or something. I mean, it shakes my garage.
Sandy, what is it? Just putting the wires together is doing that?
That's what Wes
Is
said.
that what you heard?
Yeah,
That's interesting.
I know.
Gee,
There was 2 today.
three.
3, I
There's
heard.
one
2.
tonight. Yeah, I was just curious of what it was.
Did the sheriff leave?
I think he's still back there, he's on the phone.
He didn't leave yet. I wanted to say something over here. It's come to our attention over here. If you got any questions for me, anybody? No. It's come to our attention over here that there's been some burglaries or robberies in our town. Is that correct?
Yeah, we've had issues on our road.
On Vernon Drive, am I correct? What happened there, Jim?
Our neighbor, somebody, what was, they got into the cars and the neighbor on the end?
It just happened down in Pattersonville, a Saturday too, Saturday night. 4-wheeler was stolen, a car was stolen, a couple of cars were vandalized getting into.
Mike Caputo across the street from my house. They stole his truck Saturday night. That's what I said to him. Stole his truck Saturday night. He came home from Cape Cod. They always call me and tell me when they're leaving. Watch the house. He got home 10 o'clock at night. 4 o'clock in the morning, they stole his truck, his 4-wheeler, literally took gas that was in his garage. His truck was not locked, the keys weren't in it. Opened the truck door up and thing to open the remote door in the garage, stole the gas, and it was a 2-cycle. Dumped it in his 4-wheeler, got halfway down Pangburn Road, the thing quit. Tried stealing his go-kart, stole his truck, and Friday night they stole a car in Ryville, ransacked a bunch of camps up there. They arrested 2 17-year-old kids Friday, let them out. Saturday, they came to Mike Caputo's, stole his truck. They found the 2 kids and let them out. The next day, they stole a 4-wheeler, a motorcycle, and a Rooter Drive, and a car. That same night, Saturday night.
Jim, you said that there were steps on Vernon Drive too?
And apparently, our neighbor on the end of Vernon Drive, they got into the cars, stole stuff out of cars. So they were just rifling through cars.
They caught the 2 17-year-old kids in the morning on Saturday morning. Saturday night, they stole Mike Caputo's truck, and he has OnStar. They stopped at 22 places. They found the truck in Bellevue, okay? The same place that they left the car. And it was the same 2 kids, 17 years old. They let them out the day before. The next day, they stole Mike Caputo's.
The point.
Now, why did they let them out?
There's no bail. This is why.
Yeah, I
The bail
know.
reform eliminated,
Well-
essentially eliminated bail.
So actually, Pattersonville started a neighborhood watch. I don't know if Princetown would be interested in starting their own or not, but.
The point being is everybody should be aware in our town of what's
Yeah.
going on over here, and I don't know if the sheriff would like like to comment on it or would like to say anything?
Well, you know, it's happening late at night.
Four
We ask that
o'clock in
you-
the morning.
Yeah, we ask that you lock your cars, we ask that you lock up your quads, your four-wheelers, lock your garage, lock your house. Don't give any opportunity to these criminals. We're working close with our partners next door, state police, in identifying some more suspects and hopefully making arrests in the near future.
We're a rural town and houses are spaced quite a bit apart in a lot of areas. And really, we're open to people coming in and trying to ransack or steal. Or do anything
I
on
sit in
town.
my garage until 5 o'clock in the morning, so let them come in.
I mean, they did 5S, they did house to house to house to house. They weren't that far apart. I mean, they don't care. They're just doing anything they want.
Well, if they're on Vernon Drive, the houses are fairly close together too, so if they're doing it up there, and that's,
Well, Mike Caputo's is there, and where they stole the motorcycle and the four-wheeler, right next door to his house.
I called one of my elderly neighbors and told her to be aware, and she said she doesn't sleep well at night, so she gets wandering around. And she said she did hear something at around 2 a.m. She thought she heard something in front of her house.
Yeah, 2 a.m., they got them on camera, so it
Yeah.
seems about 2 o'clock.
2 o'clock, she said she thought she heard something.
Yeah, if you hear something, call us. If you see something out of place, it looks like somebody tried to steal it, call us.
Yeah, and so I told her, I said, don't go out of the house, don't leave your house. Call the sheriff if you have a problem.
everybody should be aware of what's going on, that's why I'm saying, and I thought I would bring it to everybody's attention. So, and like I say, a lot of our houses are spaced pretty far apart too, which makes us more susceptible to those type of crimes. Okay, moving on over here. Minutes of the meeting, it's hereby resolved the meeting minutes of July 13, 2021, regular town board meeting are approved and/or as amended. Discussion,
I'll make the motion.
is there a second?
I'll say.
Sandy?
Councilman Bavoli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. General funds claim is hereby resolved, the town board approves claim number 149 through 166 in the amount of $21,880.04. Discussion,
I'll make the motion.
is there a second? I'll second it. Sandy?
Councilman Bavoli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Water funds claim. It is hereby resolved, the town board approves claim number 103 through number 113 in the amount of $52,070.09. Discussion. Is there a motion?
I'll make
Second?
Second.
Sandy?
Councilman Bavoli?
Yes.
Councilman Jackaruso?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Okay, one other thing over here. I gotta remind the town board for the public hearing on Plotter Kill. You listen, Doug? Plotter Kill, August 24th, public hearing at Plotter Kill Fire Department. Town board is required to be there. It's a joint public hearing for the Plotter Kill Fire Department to become part of the commission district as opposed to.
What time is the hearing?
6.
6 p.m.?
6 p.m. So they're gonna need at least 4 of us there. Do we need a supermajority for something like that? Gerard?
I have to ask the fire district attorney what the procedure is. He's the one who's arranged it.
Okay, but Rotterdam has to be there too.
What day is that?
Wednesday?
Tuesday.
Tuesday?
Yep.
It's August 24th, the Plotter Kill Fire Department for a joint public hearing with Rotterdam. Rotterdam has to be there because part of Plotter Kill is servicing Rotterdam too, a small section of it. So, and like I said, it's a joint public hearing. I understand we're not going to be voting on it that night. Each town has to vote on it separately. So it would be the following month that we would probably have to have a resolution to authorize them to become part of the commission district.
I have no idea. Not to talk to that attorney.
But he's
I'm
gonna,
assuming he'll explain it all that night.
yes. So, just be aware, don't forget.
Remind me.
Okay, August 24th.
Might be doing hay, but remind me.
He might be, he will be.
Okay. Council members' comments or concerns? Ben? Jim?
The only comment I have is, we did put a deposit on for the leaking tank. It's gonna be a $200,000 job ultimately to repair the tanks. 6 months ago, we didn't have 48 cents. And thank goodness, things have improved dramatically. Thank God that the county board is helping us. These were major problems. I mean, problems that the town simply did not have the resources to deal with. And looks like we're going to be able to get everything repaired.
Okay. Doug, you got anything?
No.
Nick? No. I don't have anything, so we don't have any public hearings. So I guess, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make it.
That's for you.
A second.
Darrell Road.
Sandy?
Councilman Goldie?
Yes.
Councilman Jack Russo?
Yes.
Councilman Gray?
Yes.
Supervisor Esposito?
Yes. Thank you all for coming, and like I said, I hope that anybody that's listening to this could send a note of appreciation to the Schenectady County Legislature.